Good evening, and welcome to True Blue Designs Presents the Inside Perspective. I'm your host, Tina Dawson, and it's truly an honor to be before you this evening. True Blue Designs is celebrating 12 years of being in business. This month is our anniversary, and we have some guests that have stopped by to say hello this month. Last week, we had Christopher Columbus, comedian and the founder of the Greek Comedy Tour, and we had a blast with him. But before we bring him on to introduce tonight's guest, we had some winners. Now, we asked everyone to like, share, and be engaged. And there were 5 winners from last week. So let's introduce the winners. All right. We have Colette Griffin, Felicia Arnold, Kamaria Villa, Robert Eason, and Shay Neal. They were our winners of our True Blue Designs face mask. So if you see them on tonight, give them a shout out and a thumbs up and a like. Thank you all for being engaged. I really appreciate it. Now, the same contest is going on tonight. So make sure that you like, share, and be engaged in the show. Now, we had blasted the flyer that Steve Brown was going to be on tonight. So I want to let you know that we just had to switch up the lineup, and Steve will be on another Wednesday in this month, but he will be here. But tonight, we have a treat for you. We have a treat. So to introduce tonight's guest, we're going to bring on Christopher Columbus and have him to chat with us for just a minute. Chris.
What's going on, Tina? How you doing?
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Hey, good. Thank you again for having me back.
No, and thank you so much for last week. We had a
blast.
Did you enjoy yourself?
Oh yeah, I had a ball, man. I had a good time, man. I had a good time. You know, so I read some of the comments and all that kind of stuff. So it was pretty fun. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I had a good time.
I like your cut.
Nice. Oh yeah. I had to get up. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to go to court or something like that. You know.
Look, don't you
yeah. You know, black men get the shade, they wear glasses, they start wearing Masonic pins, they ain't even Masons, because they think the white judge a Mason or something like that. Anything to get them out that ticket, not going to jail. So yeah, you get that fresh cut or whatever.
Hey, I want to tell you that the number one thing out of all the calls and the comments that I saw, the number one thing people kept talking about was the story about the funeral.
Oh, for real? Oh, yeah, that is true. That it is a true story. It is a true story. It is a true story about my. I don't even call him my granddaddy, man. I call him my mom's dad. You know what I'm saying? That's my mom's dad. And the crazy thing is, if any of my family watching, whatever the true story was, like the funeral that he died, and the crazy, we were back 2 weeks later because the sad part about it was my mom died 2 weeks later.
Really?
Yeah, and we went right, but she had insurance though, so we didn't have to go through all that shit. My mom had insurance though, so we didn't have to worry about that. So yeah, but that is a true story though.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about your mom.
That's all good. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
But let me tell you that right there, and you know, I think why everybody really remembered that story is because we could all relate.
Oh heck yeah, we all been to one of the black funerals that long, whatever, but it was the shortest funeral ever. It was like a funeral that didn't happen. It was I think it's the first funeral in history where we had repast before the funeral.
Look, you're not gonna start my side hurting again.
No. I'm gonna have to go find no Cliff obituary. I guess I can't find my dustpan and sweep it up. You know, use it as a dustpan or something like that. I want a big fan of Cliff. You know, but it is what it is though.
Well, before you introduce tonight's guest, can you just tell everybody just a little bit, once again, about the Greek Comedy Tour, how they can get in contact with you if they want to book you? Yeah.
Right. Once again, I am the founder CEO of the Greek Comedy Tour, and the Greek Comedy Tour is pretty much we have 15 comedians, over 15 comedians for all Greek letter organizations. We used to travel around the nation, but right now we're doing virtual shows, and we do fundraisers for your state, local fraternities or sororities. Our next show is next week. We're doing 2 shows in one day. We're doing a show for Phi Beta Sigma Southern region at 8 o'clock Eastern. Then we turn around and doing a show Phi Beta Sigma Western region at 8 o'clock that night. So we're doing 2 shows. So next Friday we got 2 shows, and then next night we got a show with the Zetas in Buffalo. So if you ever looking to Greek Comedy Tour, you can hit me up. My email is info at the Greek Comedy Tour. Once again, it's info at the Greek Comedy Tour. You can hit me up on Instagram at Columbus 1914, and you know what the 1914 is. So yeah.
And right, one more thing is
What's that?
you do more than just Greek shows.
Yeah, we do regular comedy shows. Like all the comedians, like the one bringing up tonight, are national comedians. They all have their own tours or whatever. Like you'll find out tonight about Kelly, about her tour that she has with Vivica Fox, all the good things she's doing. So and then if you do come to a Greek show, I know I see a lot of people that follow me and whatever, they think that we're on stage telling Greek jokes for 2 hours. It's nothing like that. It's just affiliation. It's a regular comedy show after that. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Chris, and thank you for setting up my anniversary month. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
You were supposed to send me something. You're supposed to send me an email or a text. I can get your thing, your items.
Oh, I thought you said I owe you some money. I'm like, damn, you too? Okay, all right. Like, damn.
Make sure. Look, I'm telling your business. Look, I'm telling your business for everybody. Make sure I get that information.
So I got you. I'll send you my address for that. Yeah. That's like a payment. Like, man.
You don't owe me any money, Chris.
Right, we good. You can write me anytime. Then we good.
All right, we're gonna listen. I'm gonna give you full screen and let you introduce tonight's guest.
Right. We
will see you next Wednesday. Okay.
I got you next Wednesday.
Okay, let's give him full screen.
All right, people. Who we have up next is my favorite female comedian in the whole world. When Monique went on TV and she was saying let's boycott Netflix because she was trying to set the trailblaze for the next following female comedians. This is one of the females she was talking about. This is one of the funniest females in the world. She's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She's a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and she's an HBCU grad. You can catch her on tour, not just with me, but on the Funny by Nature tour with Vivica Fox. Give it up for my girl, Miss Kelly Kellz.
Hey,
hey, Kelly.
How you doing, Miss Tina?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for sharing our anniversary with us.
Listen, thank you so much for having me on here. First of all, Chris, I am hugging you like a newborn baby. The introduction was amazing. I was like, who are we talking about? Oh, me?
Listen, when me and Chris was putting this together, Kelly, he asked me, I said, I want to interview some of your comedians. And he said, which one? And I plucked them out. And I said, I have to have Kelly. I saw you a couple of times, and I promise you, I had to take off my glasses. I was crying. I was crying because it was so funny because you were saying stuff that, I may wanted to say, but it's like, so I was like,
And that's the great thing about women, first of all, but about comedy. It's just one of those transparent things that a lot of people feel but can't say, but we can make light of the situation.
Right. Well, we want to start off. Tell us a little bit about you, Kelly.
Okay. Where should I start? I'm a Scorpio. I am a Scorpio. I think that's very important. It's my birthday, October 29th. I take that really serious. I'm one of the people who love her birthday. So I let you know something about me. I love birthdays. I like to celebrate people. So when it's your birthday, I want it to be all about you. So I just want to start off with that. I don't know where that came from, but let's go with it. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, born and raised. I did all my schooling there. And I obviously, Chris told you guys, I'm a proud HBCU grad. Central State University in Wilberforce, Ohio, the Central State University, where I pledged Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I was a communication major. When I originally got out of school, I could not find a job in radio and TV, right? Like most communication majors would ideally think they're going to go right to the radio.
Right.
So I became a school teacher.
Really?
Yes, because for some reason they just allow people with a degree to teach. I'm like, wait, you didn't have to go to school for education? Sign me up. hell, I mean, why not? I mean, I need those little coins, but I did go back and get certified. So I got certified K through 12, and I even received my master's in administrative leadership. So
wow. Get it, girl.
I could be a principal over these. Can you imagine me running a building? Everybody off on Wednesdays. Come on.
Look, you would have the best attendance ever.
I really do. And that's the thing when I was teaching. So I transitioned from elementary to high school. But baby, in high school, I had the #1 parent involvement in my district.
I believe it.
Yeah. I was really good with engaging the parents and the students and the faculty together, because what it is I learned, and I'm a really good, I have a really good discerning spirit. Kids want to know that you love them first before they care about anything else. And I think that's a human thing. If you know someone has your best interest at hand, you will let them lead you along the way. So that was like my favorite part, because them kids was like putty. As soon as they get in my hand, I'm like, okay, what am I gonna make? So I was a teacher, my husband and I decided to move to New York about 5 years ago. We decided to move to New York, and we just pick up and left in the middle of the school year, right?
Really?
We left, and in February, and things went great. I got the opportunity to film HBO all-def comedy.
Oh, wow.
I know I'm on HBO, but in between time, I was filming independent films. I have a movie called Role Play where I starred in. I have a movie called Disconnection Notice where I starred in. I'm in a feature-length film called Civilian Life that I had a role in. So, I mean, I had this opportunity to just build my resume in New York, but then we end up moving to Atlanta. Whoa, the best decision I could have made. It's like waking up at an HBCU every day. Black excellence at its finest, okay? In Atlanta, you meet a plumber and you like, oh my God, he about to change my life. Oh, wow. Because the energy here is like we want each other to win. So that's right now, that's what I'm doing. I'm just a city girl with from the inner city, the hood, where little Black girls like me not supposed to make it out. Yeah. So I take pride in everything that I do. I take pride. I don't take nothing for granted, and I celebrate all my accomplishments.
So I did not know you live in Atlanta.
I live in Atlanta.
Wow. Okay, you got me on that.
So we gotta hang out.
You were still in New York. Yeah.
So we still have a place in New York. We just use it as an Airbnb.
Okay. So when you were young, what did you ever think that you were going to comedy when you were young? How did you get into comedy?
You know what? I've always known that I was going to be an entertainer. God is so good. Oh, that just came across my spirit. Oh, thank you, God. I've always known that. I didn't know it was going to be comedy that was going to introduce me to the world. I didn't know what avenue, but I just knew I was going to be a superstar. Right. I've always had that energy where I wanted the world to know who I was. So my mother always had me in dance and theater when I was growing up, but it wasn't like really big productions I was in. It was stuff small, but small for our city. However, it was impactful for my life. Yeah. My husband had dared me to do a comedy show because my beautician at the time, she told me she was a comedian. I was like, you funny? Not that she's not funny, but I know I'm way funnier than her. Hell, I'm like, if you can make them laugh, I know I'm about to have them laughing with their shoulders like.
You a mess.
Hey, Tina, I love the way you laugh. It's so pure. It's like a car starting to.
Shut up.
I love it. I may take you on the road with me as my professional laugher.
Look, just to laugh.
So he dared me to do a show Mother's Day 2010, and I never looked back. It was a promoter from Chicago in the audience that night on Mother's Day, and I got booked a paid gig on my first time ever on the mic doing comedy. I got a standing the first night. I was supposed to do 5 minutes. I end up doing 8, not knowing what I'm doing, right? Yeah. But just flowing, obviously, because I'm a school teacher, so I know how to perform. I'm a theater major. I'm a theater girl. I know how to be in front of a group of people, and the room stood up. I'm like, what is this? My husband's like, it's a standing note. He got gold teeth. He's like, it's a standing note. Yeah. Like he did it. Yeah. I was like, and I got booked. A paid book in my first show, and I never looked back.
Wow.
Oh, I got my mind made up, and I won't turn back. Okay.
So, are you still teaching school, or you're a full-time comedian?
Who?
See, you're done with that.
Period. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. I ain't teaching them kids no more. I tell you that. Where the money reside.
Hey, that's I totally have the utmost respect for teachers, because I was talking to a counselor this week.
Yeah.
And I was telling her that, when I came out of high school, it was like in 85. And back then the counselors didn't have to be therapists, and the teachers didn't have to be therapists. And that, teaching today is just totally different than it was a long time ago.
It's too many it's not too many. It's barriers that you have to break before the learning takes place. And that's what happens. A lot of teachers want to skip that part, but if you see that there's a need there, you have to address that first before the learning. You think they care if they mama got locked up last night, they daddy beat up their mama, they hungry, or they just don't understand the material, they're afraid that they can't learn. So those were the things that I actually took pride in, because I was just good at that. Now I wasn't good at the teaching part, because I'm like, man, I had a show last night, I ain't even do no lesson plan. Damn. I'm like, what we do yesterday? They like, I'm like, do it again. I don't feel like nobody got it. Do it again. But I've been doing comedy full time for 5 years now. I was a teacher for 9, but I've been doing comedy 5 years full time. That's the only way I provide for my family. And my husband's obviously the sole provider.
Right. You have any children?
I do. I have an amazing one daughter, Savannah. She's 8. I have stepchildren. I have 3 stepchildren, but I have one biological daughter. Her name is Savannah. She's an amazing 8-year-old who carries my personality, my face, my energy, my spirit. Wow. And she's just a delightful little girl. Very, very beyond her years.
Well, she's beautiful. I got a chance to take a peep at her before.
Yeah, she's
beautiful.
She get it from her mama. She said it her daddy, because she ain't here. She thinks she my manager. Whenever I'm on listen, since the world has shifted, I'm extremely grateful because I have more time with my daughter. I have more time in my home. But when I'm on these Zooms, my daughter literally sits in a room and she watch. And I feel like I got a manager. I'm looking like, you not the boss of me. She like, she be doing stuff in the side. Corvette.
So what does she think about you being a comedian? When she sits in the room, does she enjoy it or does she critique it?
She is 9 times out of 10 on her phone taking pictures of me while I'm working.
Wow.
So she's very aware. She just got it. Of course, she thinks that I'm extremely funny. She wants to mimic the things I've done, and I'm excited about that. She wants to be a teacher. She wants to be an interior designer because she plays all these games. She's just really beyond her years. She wants to be a nail tech. She wants to be a comedian. She has all these aspirations, and I'm like, baby, sky is the limit.
That's right.
So so I know for a fact that I am a driving force in her ability to dream the impossible.
Yeah. Yeah. And what we can't do is we can't allow them to think that there's any limits. That whatever you want to do, mommy, dad is going to support you, and guide you and mold you what you want to do. The worst thing we could ever do to kids is try to make them be what we want them to be. We've got to allow them to fly and to flourish, and we have to, support them.
Right now, she's a nail tech. So a full-blown nail tech. I'm talking about whatever your nail tech has at their shop. My daughter has all this stuff there. And I didn't realize that my card was on Amazon and she just buying all this. I'm like, ooh, we about to open up a nail shop. She got a chair, a hand, acrylic, a monomer. She has all this monomer. She has all these things. And I'm like, well, you better be good at this because this is what you're going to be practicing.
Was that her correcting you?
Of course. You know how your manager do.
That is too funny. Let me ask you a quick question, because you had mentioned it, and I did read it in your bio, that you went to a HBCU. And when I went to school, my mom just basically told me, your next step is either get an education or the military. And so I chose to go to school, but she never, in our household, it was just education was pushed, not PWI versus HBCU. So my daughter, I have an 18-year-old daughter who's a freshman at North Carolina A&T.
Yeah.
And I didn't really, because my household didn't really push the difference of the two, just push education, I didn't really understand the importance of the HBCU experience until my daughter got on campus, and then they pulled the parents in and to really understand it. Can you speak a little bit about why you chose to go to HBCU and what was your experience like at your school?
Absolutely. So previously, before even having any college experience, I was in the Young Honor Society. And we had these programs. We could sell candy and go on a college tour. Okay, I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. And it was an HBCU college tour. So,
okay.
Yeah, so I decided to go on an HBCU college tour. My teacher at the time was a Centralian, a CSU graduate, and he was my favorite teacher. And I'm like, oh my God, this is your alma mater. My grandmother, before I went to the college tour, was the only person I knew who went to college. Like my mom didn't go to college. My dad did, but I didn't know about it. But my grandmother was like at Whitewater at a PWI. But she didn't push that on us at all. So I go on my first college tour, and we go to Howard, we go to Spelman, we go to Clark, we go to TSU, we go to Central State, we go to Wilberforce. And I'm like, oh my God, all these Black faces are happy and they're excited. They're from around the world and they're meeting people and they're embracing all these kids that's getting off this bus. Like, hey, when I look at you, I see myself. Right. When I look at you, you look like me. Not only do you look like me, I know you more than likely come from the same situation I come from. So let me tell you how we foster you, build you up, show you what you can have, and then we send you on your way. And I felt that in 8th grade. Wow. So I knew from then I was going to go to an HBCU. I wasn't really sure which one. I was like, whoever's going to give me the most money. Thanks, Tom Joyner. So I got the Tom Joyner scholarship because your girl was on honor roll. Pull up.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. Tom Joyner paid for my freshman year.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was just amazing. So I went to an HBCU and it was exactly everything I thought it would be. I became a woman. I mean, every woman grows in college, but it was like those lifelong lessons and experiencing the do's and the don'ts and being around people who look like you. So there's not a lot of judgment, but there's a lot of character building. There's a lot of uplifting. There's a lot of sacrificing for each other. And it was just amazing. I mean, before you knew it, I was just running the campus. I was a resident advisor, student ambassador. I'm running all the programs. I'm like, I'm a Delta. I was just like, Miss Homecoming Queen. I'm like, oh my God, I'm never graduating. What?
See,
Sally Mae, y'all leave me alone. I'm a super singer. I did not want to leave. I didn't.
Wow. Yeah. See, my experience at my PWI was nothing like that. We were the minority. Yeah. So yeah, back in the 80s, it was ranked as one of the top 10 party schools, and it was supposed to be it was a dry county because it didn't have any liquor stores, but people were still getting tore up on beers.
Absolutely. I can only imagine.
Yeah. It was crazy. So let's see. Oh, which comedians have influenced you the most? Some of the old heads.
Oh goodness. So I could start off with like my fave in the whole wide world, who I feel like was really the driving force of me even making that leap of faith to move to New York, which is Talent. Talent is just comedy. He is one of the kings of New York. He's super, super, super talented. And he has the ability to captivate a room.
Oh, wow.
He embraced me and took me under as his little sister, but more than that, just a mentee. But it wasn't even a mentee like, oh, let me show you. He just threw me out there every chance he got. And every time he threw me out, I just got stronger and better and stronger. And I said, oh, wow. So talent would be the one who I say is the person that who influenced me the most.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I think of female comedians, of course, I love the Laura Hayes. I have Laura Hayes' number in my phone. Every time I call her, she answers. That love is undeniable. The Samores, the Queens, the Moniques. You look at those people and you think to yourself, if they were not fearless enough, where would I be? So they did it, so I can. And I mean, I'm very grateful. I know them personally, but so those are the old heads I love. But of course, there's many more. And you get the name and names, you know, people start sending you text messages. Why didn't you say my name? God.
Let me tell you, we when Chris was on last week, we were talking about have you ever had a situation where maybe not necessarily you felt threatened on stage, but just a crazy situation with, have you?
What?
Tell us about it.
I've had two of those situations. One, I was at a room in New York that I actually host every Wednesday, post pandemic. It's called Essence. It's absolutely amazing. The room on Atlantic Avenue. It's a very small spot. Damon Razier was the previous host before his passing. And so they kind of gave me the torch. He had this room for 13 years. So it's a staple in New York. So people come there. Look, it's an open mic, by the way. But people come there knowing it. No matter what's going on, you never know who's going to drop in. So it was great. Well, there was a drunken lady, as usual. And she's heckling all the comedians. And I'm like, I can't wait. The men, I'm like, I can't wait till I get back up there. Nope. This is too much. I gave her chance after chance. Well, I think she couldn't wait for me to get back up there either. As soon as I got back on stage, before I could even say 2 words to her, she unbuttoned her shirt like Incredible Hulk. She on the button up. Boop, 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 every button pop, 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 pop. And she ran up on stage like, I know you like me. I was like,
are you serious?
I was like, actually, I don't. You're the person I like the least in this room. And everybody started laughing. And of course, that made her upset. So she kind of like kept trying to get up on me. The security guard was at the door, literally like 6 feet away from me. He didn't even move. Everybody was so shocked. But I was just like, you know what, Kelly? Just stay alert. Because if this girl do anything to you, like rub them little musty, wet breasts on you, you have to headbutt her. Bow. I was thinking about, I do not want to bust my own forehead, but I'm a headbutter because she was sweating. I didn't want that on my shirt. I had on a white shirt. Well, my husband, who's always there. Thank you. Hey, babe, I love you. He's always there. Guess what he did? He came and yonked her right up like a pit bull. He grabbed her by her neck and just carried her right on out. And I was like, thanks. And I kept on going with the show. Second time I was at a comedy show. And a female comedian was heckling all the comedians on stage. She said she was a comedian. But when I got on stage, she called herself trying to literally running up to the stage. So my fans love me so much. Before she could make it to the stage, somebody must have put their leg out and tripped her. Boy, she fell face forward, bow, hit the floor. And she was like, I'm so sorry. She got up. She was like, I'm sorry. She was running full speed. A fan in the audience put their foot out. I'm on the stage looking at it. I'm watching her run up there. Because in my mind, I'm about to be like, boom. I couldn't wait either because I ain't had a good boom in a while. You know what I mean? That was going to relieve some pressure on me. Like, I've been trying to work out. Boom, won't lose no weight. She's going to get all that drama. Boom, forget carbs. Boom. Okay, so she never made it out. Somebody hit her with a doink. Doink. And then that's what happened.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Lord. You know, it's so good to talk to you all because we just think, you get on the stage, you make us laugh. Let me ask you this. What makes you laugh?
People being genuinely them. Like when I see people just truly being themselves, not trying to be more in front of me, right? Because I'm human. I'm human. And as a matter of fact, I spend so much time trying to prove that I'm human. I forget how super dope I am, because I'm trying to like let everybody know, like, just relax. I'm on an even playing field. Don't none of this stuff bother me. Opportunity just happened to align with me right away, but yours is coming. But I like when people just funny. I like quirky. I like people being themselves, making themselves laugh. Because if you can find joy within yourself, man, that's a dope person. Right. So I truly don't need anyone to make me laugh. Like Zooms and all this stuff was made for me. When I do Zooms, and it's like 100 people on there, but everybody muted and everybody looking like this, I'm on there laughing. I'm cracking up. Cause that shit funny in my head. I'm like, and now I see their shoulders like, and I just get it. But I like people who know exactly who they are in there in anything. So that's funny to me, and they right, because different people are just funny. People are funny. People being organically them makes me laugh.
What do you think about the society that we're in and all the stuff that's been going on?
I think that if we could just start from COVID, right?
Yeah.
I think COVID was a reset button. And if you look at it in the worst way, yes, it was tragic when it comes to the regard of human life.
Yeah.
Right. And that's something that I wish we could take back daily.
Yeah.
But it gave the world an opportunity to slow down. And I can only speak for myself when I say I truly needed that break without it causing a ripple effect. That break did not cause a ripple effect with anybody, because everybody was on a halt. So I had the opportunity to slow down, smell the flowers, slow down, realign, redirect my energy, process. And for me, it was a good thing. I feel like the Black Lives Matter movement would not have been as powerful if the world was moving. Because they had an opportunity to be in the now and not worry about work, not worry about school, not worry about anything in the now. I think that the Kamala Harris and the Joe Biden wouldn't have happened without somebody. So I believe in a cause and effect, right? And some people want to say things happen for a reason, but they don't believe everything happened for a reason. I believe everything happened for a reason. Good, bad, or indifferent. Even when it's hard for me to swallow, it happened for a reason. And I'm going to see it. I'm going to reap the harvest from it, or I'm going to learn from it. So all those things, those transpire, the Proud Boys climbing that wall, all that stuff had to happen because America had to see what we were up against, what we've been hiding, what we've been ignoring, what we've been neglecting. And I feel like now people are saying, we know we need to stimulate the economy. We know we need to invest more in Black businesses and Black universities. Now HBCUs are being highlighted on a different level because Georgia turned blue or not. Yeah, right.
And Warnock and Ossoff, Warnock and Ossoff,
Kamala, everybody. I mean, Stacey, everyone. I mean, it's mind blowing. But I'm always looking at my glasses half full because I chose to put faith over fear. And I realized something. We put so much emphasis on the doubt and the fear. And I'm like, if we put that same emphasis on faith, what would, you know what I'm saying? It'll even out. I choose not to pay attention to the stuff that I can't change, but rather than change the things that I can.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I totally agree. You know, I was telling my daughter that out of every chaotic situation, there's an opportunity.
Come on.
And the question is, do you see it? So like you were saying that, yes, you know, it's been tragic, it's been deaths, but there's been so many opportunities that people have been blessed with out of the COVID and the pandemic, you know, experience. And I was telling her, you know, you just have to be able to see, you know, the blessings in the chaos.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've had so many people come into my life. People I've wanted to work with that I didn't know how I was going to align with them. But guess what? They had to jump on these Zooms with me. They had to just get back. So the people that was on their way up had to come back. Everybody had to come back down. But how you came back down depended on how you treated people on your way up.
That's true.
It could be a graceful fall, or it could be a super, extremely hard, painful agonizing fall. You know,
right.
Everybody don't get to celebrate 12 years of true blue dope designs, right? Everyone doesn't get to reap their harvest like that because people wasn't good on the way up. The reason why 12 years exists, I'm reading these codes too, and I'm really a good segue type of girl. The reason why 12 years exists because going up, you wasn't, I'm assuming you didn't do a lot of people dirty.
Oh no, can't.
You wasn't being greedy. You wasn't being spiteful. You wasn't being backbiting. So that's how you get to 12 years. It's going to be 12 years plus another 12 plus another 12. Oh, it's going to be a family business. Oh, it's going to be a conglomerate. Oh, it's going to be bigger than what you ever expected. So that's why I'm just like, man, but God, thank you. And suddenly it happens. And suddenly, and I'm so in alignment. I'm so happy in where I'm at in my life right now.
Yes.
I'm like, God, I know it's you. And I would never, ever, ever turn my back on you, ever doubt you like I did before.
Come on, Kelly.
I was living in doubt. Oh man, he just been so good to me. He hasn't done anything different. He just didn't take his hand off of me.
That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. And then you were talking about painting Georgia blue. Think about it. Now you're a Georgia resident. You were a part of history.
Oh, I was a part of the history. As a matter of fact, I was out there performing at the polls. I was doing comedy while people were at the polls. I was on part of the Georgia Project, which sent out entertainers, jugglers, violinists, comedians, singers, entertainment to keep those long lines. I was out there, and it was some polls that didn't even have people there, and I still was there. So I was a part of it.
Wow.
I was a proud supporter. I was excited every time. And each time I met a first-time voter, you would be surprised that how many first-time voters were older people.
Really?
I'm not talking about 18, 21-year-olds. I'm talking about the ones who are my age, 30, whatever, you know. It was older people who said, you know what, enough is enough. If we don't stand for anything, we'll fall for everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And you know what, I think this election showed them that their voice does matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, one more thing. In your bio, you stated that breast cancer awareness is very, very important to you. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So I come from a very close-knit family. When I say close, like literally, if it's something going in the family, you know your family gonna know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we ain't got no family that you find out later about it. No, if my mama know, my auntie know, and if my auntie know, her daughter know. So when we got the news that my great-grandmother, my grandmother's mom, had breast cancer, she was when I say the big mama of our family. She is the big. I say it was. She is the big mama of our family, and it was just devastating. But she's a woman of faith, and she was like, "Hey, y'all take them. I ain't been using these in a while. Take them." And she said it just like that. I'm like, "Oh, I'm so glad I got my sense of humor for her." She was like, "I don't need these. I'm good. Take them. I gotta see my great grandbabies and my great grandbabies."
Yeah.
So she had her breast removed, and I was like, wow. And it was just over. She was in remission. She was perfectly fine. Then it hit on my mother's side. That was on my father's side. Then it hit on my mother's side with my favorite cousin who raised me. And I'm like, oh no. And so she went through chemo. She didn't have to have anything removed. She went through chemo and it was successful. So when I was approached from Milwaukee Health Services and the NFL to do the crucial catch for the breast cancer awareness, it was a no-brainer. Once again, alignment, right? I feel like God put me in positions where I can be a true testament to it because I've been through it. The transparency is there. So somebody can be healed, somebody can be set free, somebody can really, truly understand me and feel my vibrations. I'm not just doing this for a check, even though it's a check. I'm not just doing Oh, it's a check. NFL.
Oh yeah, I bet that was a great situation.
It was a wonderful situation to see survivors, to meet families of survivors, to just be around the people who were full of hope, and it was just perfect for me. I'm telling you, my journey has been such a journey I couldn't even imagine, and even sitting here talking to you, it almost brings tears to my eyes because I know God is not done. But
Yeah.
if he don't do nothing else, I'm like, man, the lives I've touched, the people that I've been around, the opportunities that I've had. Oh.
She got a console Barbara.
Cause she's the sweetest girl in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I'm like, God, man, you really love me.
Yeah.
I just travel around the world. I do all this stuff. And I'm like, God, thank you. I haven't missed a beat yet. Thank you.
And and that's another thing that COVID did. It gave us time, like you were saying, it gave us time to reflect, because we're so busy. Before COVID, we were so busy, and now when it shut us all down, you had time to really reflect, know. And that's why, when I asked, when me and Chris had put it together, I said, people follow you all, but they don't get a chance to know Kelly.
Yeah.
And so that's why I wanted to do the interview. So yeah, I really appreciate you sharing that with us.
Oh, thank you. I needed that.
So let me ask you this. So if you wasn't a comedian and you could do any job in the world, what would it be?
I would be a singer. I would still be on stage. I would be so cold though. I'm talking about so cold. No music. I wouldn't even have no band, no nothing. I would be a singer. And can I pick another one? If I had another profession, I would be a dancer.
You can dance and sing.
I can dance. I can't sing. I can hold a note. I've always been in choirs my entire life.
I'll hold my note.
I've always been in choirs, right, T? I see Tina. I've always been in choirs my entire life, and I've been in the front row because I'm really good with that. The hand movement. But it'd be a real alto in my ear, like this is your note. I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm toned down. Sorry, I'll be loud and wrong. All around me every day.
Hey, Kelly, you get into them black choirs, and we both fit right in.
I'm a cold clapper. I'm cold with it. I say yes to my Lord. He's done great things. Dun. I'll be up there like,
oh my goodness. Hey, it's nothing like it, is it?
It ain't nothing like a black anything. And that's what I had to realize. I love being black to the point that sometimes people get offended by it. I'm not offended. I don't want to be offended.
No, that's right.
Black, everything is just so animated. It's so extra, so tasty. I mean, just think about our palettes and our food, our culture, our music, our clothes, our hair.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got to be dope if everybody's trying to copy us and be like us with Botox, butt implants.
Baby. And that's so funny because I had this same booty since I was in the 3rd grade. Now white women buying them. Now they popular. I'm like, I had this in 3rd grade.
Look, me and you got the same. We got the same issue.
The real true blue.
Well, the same blessing. Let me say that.
It's definitely a blessing. It's a blessing. After all that happened.
So let me ask you this: when you're on stage, is there anything that you won't joke about? Is there just certain things you just will not, include into your jokes? A topic or
yeah, I'm trying to think. So I'm very sensitive to the needs of the room.
Okay.
I try to read my audience. No, I do read my audience.
Mm-hmm.
In my personal life, I won't talk about handicapped people in a bad way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mentally disabled people, mentally retarded, or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, I think those things that's like super offensive. I won't talk about murders and make it seem like it's okay. I mean, I just don't talk about certain stuff like that.
Okay.
Really, what I try to lean more towards is things that I can relate to.
Okay.
Being a mom, being a teacher, being a best friend, right? Being a lover of the Dollar Tree. I mean, shit that makes sense, okay? Stuff that people can laugh at, but also don't be offended. But I'm not the comedian to try to offend. There's comedians that they do well with that, and I like it too. I laugh, but that's not my approach. So I'm more of an inclusive, build you up comedian, make you feel good about what's going on. It's funny as hell. It's real. There's gonna be some life lessons in it, but I don't want to tear nobody down or make nobody feel less than, because I do not like people who do that.
Yeah. Now you mentioned the Dollar Tree, but what about Five Below?
Five Below is the devil, and I bind it in the name of Jesus. Five Below has some of the most amazing things I could think of. I didn't even realize I need that many hand towels. I want the hula hoop. I want the beach towel. I want the floaty. I want the camera, a Polaroid camera. I needed some bangles. I needed some dish soap.
Everything is in there.
Tutu.
You can get exercise equipment.
Yes, you can. I got some dumbbells. I got a ball from Five Below.
Yeah.
Socks.
Yeah.
Everything. St. Patrick's Day. It's Five Below.
Dollar Tree and Five Below. Those are my weaknesses.
The Dollar Tree. I'm VIP in the Dollar Tree. Actually, they have sprinklers like sparklers when I walk through the door, like the bottle service. As soon as I walk through, they know I'm about to spend $100.
And then the Dollar Tree had nerve to put a refrigerator. The grocery section.
They had a ribeye for $1.
Your milk.
Why don't they have that ribeye for $1? I'm gonna try it one day. I am, and I'm gonna do it on my live. I'm gonna try it one day. Like, this is a $1 ribeye.
Look, I gotta make sure that I see that.
You will. I'm gonna tag you in it. I'm like sponsored by True Blue Design. Happy anniversary dinner.
Look, and everybody get the ribeye for $1.
Get the ribeye for $1.
Yes, you are a man. Oh, let me ask you this. So tell us right quick, and we got like 9 minutes left. If you all have any questions, I'm enjoying myself. So if you all have any questions, please put them in the comments, and we'll show them and make sure Kelly can answer it before the end of the show. But so Chris had mentioned that you had joined the Greek Comedy Tour. Tell us about that decision, how that experience has been for you.
Wow. So first of all, shout out to Christopher Columbus. He is the man. When I say very diligent, very hardworking, very consistent. Mm-hmm. I remember when it was starting off, we was getting shows here and there, but every time Chris called my phone, where the money resides, and he keeps me in the loop of things. So when I initially found out about the Greek Comedy Tour, it was through T. Ray Sanders, which is a Kappa. He was like, dude, you need to hook up with my homeboy Chris. I did the first show with Chris, and it was like I met a big brother, a long lost brother. So we had that instant connection, and my husband liked him, and he liked my husband. So it was just easy because my husband knows for a fact I'm on tour with this man, right? So it was like a trust thing right away. And when you meet people like that you can connect to and you can feel their vibrations right away, it makes it easier to excel with them. So he was just very he was just very supportive. He allowed me to do me. He wasn't like saying do this, do that. He just really liked everything that I brought to the table. So yeah, we've never looked back. We never looked back. As a matter of fact, he includes me on certain decisions and certain things. Actually, at one point, he was booking other people. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. What are we doing here? So, I was elated to join the Greek Comedy Tour and being a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated to have that representation there. And I'm the only Delta on there.
Yes, you are. Yeah. Let's talk about you being a member of Delta Sigma Theta. I have some good friends of mine that are Delta. They're probably on the show. Let's talk about your choice to choose to become a member of Delta, and how's your experience been?
Well, I'm legacy.
Oh, really?
My grandmother's a Delta. I was groomed into Delta. So of course, that's all I've ever known my entire life. So that was the right choice, the only choice. Joining I'm Delta Kappa, which is at Central State University. So I crossed Spring 05 on a line of 11. Me and my sons are extremely close, even though I have, on my father's side, I have 5 sisters. I have 5 sisters. And on my mom's side, I have a sister. I enjoy the sisterhood. Yeah. I enjoy having women with like-minded thoughts that come around and like build you up. So I was like, this is a no-brainer. And they have been so instrumental in my quest to comedy and my quest to being a mom, being a wife. I just don't feel like I could have done as many things as I've done thus far without them, because it's that whole sorority thing. Is like when they say you can't, you're like, oh, okay, I know I can. When people tell you one door is closed, you're like, oh, is there a window? Oh, the window is closed. Is there a fire escape? Oh, there's too many there. We don't take no for an answer. So that was one of those things that was instilled in me. And I really wish that every woman had that opportunity, even if it's not a sorority, to get in some type of organization where you are influenced by women that want to see you win and that are not afraid of your success because they're successful as well.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And that right there is the key.
Being around iron sharpens iron. That's a real thing. Right. And I'm a firm believer, if you're the best person or if you're the most looked upon person in your group, you probably need a new group, because who are you learning from? Who's pouring into you if you're doing all the pouring? Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then another good thing was, when Kamala Harris became VP, just her journey to that position, how it pulled all the D9 together. That's something that I have been longing to see for years. And just to be able to see that just brought my heart joy. Everybody coming together, all the female organizations, sororities, and then all the male fraternities, and everybody just coming together for one common purpose. And we're strolling to the polls, and it was just an awesome sight to see. And it shows people that we can, even though there's stereotypes and stigmas and all that stuff, we can come together, all of us. And we have that did it. So maybe I'm just a hopeful, wishful thinker. But I be thinking like when stuff like that happen, that kind of like seals the deal. So let's not go back to that bull. Let's not go back to that brown paper bag, big pretty girls, pearls, poodles.
I'm with you on that.
Come on, even playing field once again. The build up. Different organizations for different reasons, for own personal reasons, that's fine, but the same purpose, and that's sisterhood, scholarship, and service. And that's why I'm excited about my comedy tour, the Funny by Nature comedy tour. Vivica A. Fox presents the Funny by Nature comedy tour. Now, Vivica just became an honorary Zeta.
Yes, she sure did. Her and Shaka Khan.
And at this point, I was like, I had to call her. This is my big sister. I had to call her like, congratulations. I will not be buying you anything but congratulations. The hell is wrong with you? You ain't tell me about none of this. We talk every other day. You stupid. Okay, now she good. I'm proud of her. Let's go, Vivian. But she had the sisterly love in her, because before she was a Zeta, she was about girl power. And that's how I got to this opportunity. Her and I sat after a wonderful spa day at a restaurant in Beverly Hills. Come on, I'm from 22nd and Center, and I was in Beverly Hills having a spa day with Vivica Fox. And she asked me, what is it that I can do for you? And I just simply asked her, like, how about you just invest in the process of me? I don't want anything from you. I want to earn everything. I just want to have that covering, that endorsement, right? And when you have that step of approval from certain people, that's all we need. I'm going to go do work. I'm a worker. I'm a worker. I've been a worker my whole life. I'm from the Midwest, where working is really embedded in us at an early age. So, we have that grind industrial work set. And I've seen my mama work. I seen my grandma work. I seen my great grandma work. I seen women work, so I have no problem working. And she said, oh, what you want to do? I want to have my own tour. And I had people telling me like I should do it. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I went to Chicago and I got my homegirl, Crystal. I met my homegirl, Just Niche. Then I went to Tatum, Texas by way of LA, and I got Crystal Powell. Then I went to Mobile, Alabama by way of Atlanta, Georgia, and I got a Shima Franklin. And I'm like, you know what? To me, you ladies are the dopest to do it. You are the funniest to do it. And I'm not afraid to be around the funniest.
Right.
The humblest, the hungriest, the innovators. I want to be around that because every time we all together, all we're doing is learning from each other. We're pulling, we're growing, we're expanding. We're like, I didn't know that. How'd you do this? How'd you do that? Oh, I can see your facial expressions. I can see you growing. So we're just growing and we're doing it on our own thing. But and we still have our own projects going on. But it's like, God is so good. And since you're in Atlanta, I will be at Uptown Comedy Corner March 19th through the 21st, and Vivica Fox will be there.
Oh, really?
Yes, she will. So
okay, tell it again. Tell me the dates again.
It's going to be at Uptown Comedy Corner in Hapeville, March 19th, 20th, and 21st. We have 2 shows on that Friday and Saturday, and 1 show on Sunday. And it's going to be a blessing. The whole team is going to be there. It's going to be a production. It's laughter for your soul. It's funny by nature, and that's exactly what it is. These women are naturally funny on and off stage, but we have different perspectives. We have different journeys. So we're all coming from different angles, and it's just a blessing to watch. And I'm in awe watching it, and I'm on tour with them. So that's going on. I also have my own brand of lipstick coming out called OKK. Yes, so that is going to launch. Oh my goodness. I'm thinking about on April 22nd, which is my daughter's birthday.
Okay.
I'm thinking that'll be a great day for me to just do that. I have Thick Fits, which is a new company that we started. Thick Fits is exactly what it is. Thick Fits. Thick women, we fit in each and every aspect of life, and we have to embody that. But we also can be fit and thick. Some people think that just because you're heavier, you're unhealthy. No, there's a lot of skinny people that's unhealthy, but we just have to get things in perspective. So Thick Fits is under my umbrella. Kelly Kellz Entertainment. I'm just using everything that God has given me and just branching out. I'm close to 1 million followers on Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah. So make sure everybody follow me on that platform, which is Kelly Kellz _22. I got about 70,000 followers, 70,000 followers on Instagram. So I'm just getting into the groove of this social media thing because that's going to take us to the next level.
So I'm glad that you talked about the upcoming dates because I'm going to come see you, Kelly, but don't act like you don't know me.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, TT, what's that thing? What's that, Bree? Yeah.
You know, and let me tell you this. It's funny because the owner of Uptown Comedy Club went to school with me, Angelo.
I love Angelo.
And he's going to he's going to finish the anniversary month. So the last Wednesday is Angelo to talk about his experience having Uptown Comedy Club.
You got to tell him I said hi and I love him.
We're connected. Kelly, thank you so much for saying yes to allow me to interview you. I am going to continue to follow you, and I'm everybody. I'm just going to continue to push you, and thank you so much for sharing your life with us. I really appreciate you. Listen, if there's any time that I can return the favor, please let me know.
I will.
We are your branding specialist because we give your creativity new wings.
Come on,
let me know how I can help you in the branding area.
Thank you so much. I'm excited because I'm going to call you soon as you have the phone.
Okay. Look, hey, you got my number.
I got your number. Thank you so much. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you to your entire team. I wish many more blessings on you all. I know being an entrepreneur and starting a business is never easy, but if you never start, you'll never know. So I'm glad that I had the opportunity to be around a true boss, a true woman of God, right? Because you have to have some type of form of faith.
Oh, yes.
Right. And people think that faith looks different, man. I mean, just stepping out on faith and doing you and being able to sustain for 12 years shows that there's some faith there. So I ask that God touch and he blows your mind. And this 12, it turns into 12 new sites.
Thank you.
You know, it's globally and beyond it and internationally. And you like, I know you do.
I receive it.
Because it's God's will. Like that's God's thing, God, right?
I receive it. Well, thank you so much, Kelly. Everybody, we thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next Wednesday on True Blue Designs Presents The Inside Perspective. And make sure that you follow Kelly on all of her platforms. We'll see you next Wednesday. Good night.
Bye.